Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the part 3 of Python Pandas tutorial series. In the last tutorial, we have talked about the very first among the two primary data structure of Pandas, which is series, and that is one dimensional. And in this tutorial, we will talk about another Python Pandas data structure, which is DataFrame object, which is two dimensional, and label data structure with column potentially different data types. You can think of it like a spreadsheet or SQL table or a dictionary of Pandas series objects. It's generally the most commonly used Pandas object, and it is very popular among the data science community because you can load data in a tabular format into Python. So without any further delay, let's get started. So let's first look into how to create a data frame object using Pandas in Python. So likewise series, you can also grab this data frame method from the pandas class, and then you pass the first argument data, and this data could be many different type. It could be a dictionary of one dimensional ND array, it could be a list, it could be a dictionary or a series. It could also be instantiated from the two-dimensional NumPy array or ND array. It could be also a series, and you can also create a data frame by subsetting another data frame. Now, once you have the data, the next thing is that index and columns. Index is the row label and columns is the column labels. And this two argument is optional, which you provide along with the data. If you pass an index or a column, you are guaranteeing that index and or columns of that resulting data frame. If axis labels are not passed, they will construct from the input data based on some common sense rule, which we have seen in the last tutorial, that it will start from 0 and it will end um, till the length of the data or length of the series or data frame minus 1. So let's first look into the first example, which is creating a data frame from the dictionary of series or dictionary. So we have already imported pandas and numpy. Now the next thing we will do, we will create a dictionary object, and we will pass two uh, keys within the dictionary, 1 and 2, and against 1 we will pass the series, which is pd dot series, and here we will say 1 point, 2 point and 3 point. Then I will pass the index. Index is equal to A, B and C. Okay, let me close the bracket here so that this is one series. The second series, which we will put the value against the key, the second series, which would be the value of the key 2, would be 1 2 3 4. Let's pass one more, say 4, and in the index we will say D. Okay, so now we have constructed this dictionary which has two keys, 1 and 2, and against each of this key we are passing one pandas series. Now the next thing which we can do, we will create a data frame, df, then pd dot data data frame, and then we will pass this dictionary into that data frame object. Then here say print df. Now if I will just go ahead and run it, you see now the data frame is created, and which is axis label is ABCD, and the row label is the column name is 1 and 2. which is generated from the name of the dictionary. Okay. Okay. Now let's do this do the similar thing, but here while creating the data frame, we will pass this index explicitly and say index equal to D uh, B and A. Uh, I forgot to print it, so print df. Now you can see as we are passing the index here, once the data frame is created, we actually subsetting it and rearranging all the columns on the basis of DBE, which we have passed as index here. Even though there are 4 elements of the data frame, we are actually subsetting by using this index here. Okay. So in short, the resulting index will be the union of the index of various series. If no column are passed, the column will be ordered list of dictionary keys, which we have seen here. Okay, and when a particular set of columns is passed along with the dictionary data, the passed column is override the keys of dictionary, which we have seen in this example. Cool. Uh, the next thing which we will see, we will explicitly define columns as well along with the index. So here, let me copy everything into the next block, and along with the index we will say column, and then here we will pass 2 and 3. Now you must remember that column number 2 is present in the data frame because it's present in the dictionary, but 3 is not there. So you will get all the non value here, or the missing value here in the column 3. Okay. And finally, you can access the row and column labels as an attribute to this data frame. So you can say df, then row, df.index to grab the rows label, and say print, and then here to grab the column name, you say df.columns. Now if you run it, you will get the index name of the data frame and you get the column name of the data frame. Okay. Now let's look into the example how to create data frame from the dictionary of ND array or a list. Now the ND array the pass ND array must be all be the same length. If an index is passed, it must be clearly also be the same length as an array. If no index is passed, the result will be the range n. Okay, where n is the array length. Now enough talking, let's create this data frame, and here we will create a dictionary called D again, and we will pass 1 2 1 and then 2. So these are going to be our column names, and here we will pass the list, which is 1 point, and I'm putting point so that it will treat this one as a floating point number. So the resulting series or the data frame would be floating point rather than the integer. Okay. Similarly, I can say 2 will equal to 4 point, 3 point, 2 point, 1 point. Okay. Now here I will say df that pd dot data frame, and then we will pass this index this object, this dictionary object D into the data frame method. Then here we will say print df, and then here just make some space. Now what we're gonna do, we will provide the index as well. So first we will not provide here we haven't provided the index, but here let's say we're gonna provide the index while creating the data frame. Okay, and the index would be A, B, C, D, and E. Oh, we have only 4 elements, so let's take only four. Let's just pass 4 index only. So now if I run it, you will see if I haven't provided any index. So first of all, you can create the data frame by using dictionary of the list, uh, and the column name would be the the key of the dictionary, and the label, if it is, because here we haven't provided the index because it's not a series, it's a dictionary. If you do not provide the index, it will just create the index by itself. It will start from 0 till the length of the data frame minus 1. So which is 4 minus 1 is 3. If you provide index, it will just overwrite the index, which, and now it is being assigned A, B, C, D. Okay. Now finally, we will see how you can create a data frame from a list of dictionary. Now for this, let's say we gonna create data2, and here we will say list of dictionary A, and against A we will pass value 1, and against B we will pass 2. Similarly, we will also create another dictionary, and again we will pass A here, and against A the value 5. Against B we will pass, let's say, 10, and against against C key item we will pass the value 20. So now we have a list of 2 dictionary. Okay, now if I will just pass this data into the data frame object of pandas pd dot data frame and d. First let's see how it look like. So now if I will just run it, I forgot to print it, print tf. Now if I will just go ahead and run it, you will see it create 2 oops I still putting d while we have created data2 as an example here. So now if I will just go ahead and run it, you will see that each of the keys which we have passed as a within dictionary now become the column, and the number of dictionary which we have passed is become the index here. So we have 2 dictionary we have passed, so that's why we have 2 rows, and we have passed maximum 3 key items to this data frame, which is ABC. So that's why we have 3 columns ABC, while the first row doesn't have a C element or C key value item in that dictionary. So that's why we are getting NaN value against C for the first row. Okay, now let's say we want to pass the same thing, like we want to do the same thing, but here we will pass this index, and here we will say index is equal to first and then second. Now as we have discussed earlier, if you pass index, it will just overwrite the existing index. And we can also do the similar thing, and here instead of passing index, I will pass column's name. So here I will say A and B. Now as we have seen earlier as well, if you pass this column name, it will do the subset. So even though there is a column C present which has value NaN against first row and value 20 against the second row, as we are providing column here, as only A and B. So it just did the subset and provide the resulting data frame is the 2 by 2 uh, data frame structure. So that's a brief introduction how you can create data frame from various objects in the Python. In the next tutorial, we will see how you can create how you can get a summary or data overview of the data frame which you have created or events series. As usual, if you have any question, please feel free to drop your questions comment in the YouTube comment section. I would like to answer them with best of my ability. Or else, thanks for watching. Thanks for all your likes and subscription. Until next time. Cheers.